You really saw that this is a president who's simply not in control of his presidency. Who is in control? Jay Powell has to try to guide this economy to some sort of, soft landing with inflation. Vladimir Putin, what's happening in Ukraine, that's a big factor. You see Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin was like the hidden person at that State of the Union. His Biden's agenda has shrunk because of Joe Manchin and obviously the pandemic. All those things need to sort of cut Joe Biden and the Democrats' way over the next few years, but this is going to be kind of a disaster for them politically.
It was very strong on Ukraine. It was nice to see everybody back together. It was nice to see the bipartisan cheering around Ukraine. When they got to the domestic side as well, of course, things got very different. But I think your take, Jimmy, and my take might be the same, which is I was actually shocked when it ended because I'm kind of waiting. Where's the part when they start talking about China? He mentioned Xi Jinping, I think, once. He talked a lot about manufacturing in America. But the lack of even recognition of China, I found bizarre.
I think, it's not mentioning what is, I think, legitimately your greatest geopolitical challenge. Maybe not this exact moment, but longer term, I think it is pretty bizarre. Also because if Joe Biden and Democrats really want to try to get something done over the next few years, it's probably going to be things about China. I mean, Biden did mention this, what he now calls, I'm not sure if this is the new official name, the bipartisan competitiveness bill. You sell that bill with China about getting semiconductor manufacturing in the U.S., about R&D to compete with China and expand the productive capacity of the economy to fight inflation. I think everything that can happen in Washington is probably going to have a China theme to it. And then to not mention it either for geopolitical reasons or as a way of re-energizing your domestic agenda, I think that's a good word for it. Bizarre.
Well, it was bizarre because China, we know, is so much of the issues. To your point, maybe not right now with what's going on in Ukraine, but longer term, that is going to be the challenge. I also found this, Jimmy, to be a massive shift to the right, back to the center. He talked about funding the police. He actually referenced the border. We know that hundreds of thousands of people have died of fentanyl overdoses in the last few years. So much of that, as the president mentioned, and as we reported on being seized, is coming across the border. So talking about the border issues, talking about funding, not defunding the police, it felt like this was an attempt, maybe it's too late, but a massive swing toward the middle.
Right. I mean, he ended with this unity agenda and dealing with opioid abuse, mental health, including inside that kind of a attack on big tech, the war on cancer. Listen, the progressive agenda that you saw embedded within Build Back Better, that's not happening. All right. So he has to find something, and he's going to be dealing with Republicans almost assuredly for the final half of his term. So you might as well get started now.